What's up, everybody? This is Evan, founder of Oscar Trash Pickup app. Here on our show, Promptpreneurs, where we talk about everything from AI entrepreneurship, manually building apps using different programs. And I'm joined by my
This
brother from another.
this is James, and appreciate you having me. Entrepreneurs, we're here.
We here, man. Another week. A lot of big updates that I feel like was important to really get on here and talk about. But first, let's talk a little bit about what we got going on, right? What you got going on in the world of AI right now?
Well, for me, it's more about like I said before, we're still in testing for my program, so we're still looking for funding. We're still grinding and just checking out new process. We're learning about new things that's coming out. Um, just kind of still just in the informational stage while we're still in testing. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm pretty much at the same point with my app. For those who are just tuning in, first of all, thank you guys. And so we use different platforms. Right now, it's been mostly Replit to build, pretty much apps or web-based apps. And so I pretty much put together an app just like James did, and I'm in beta testing as well right now. And so, have you heard about the update? Because they had a whole, meeting last week where they were pretty much where the founders of the Replit app went online and pretty much gave a webinar about the new features. And we were texting back and forth a little bit about some of the features. Have you heard about the features?
Uh, I was more so hearing about it from you, so I think you should let them know. I think you know more than me how everything is going.
Yeah, so Replit Replit is a web-based AI model that you can use for free up to a certain point. You can, what is it, tokens or something like that that you get, or and once you run out of those tokens, then you can either wait until those tokens automatically fill back up for you to use it again, or you can just pay for the monthly model. And right now, some of the new features is their Agent 3. And so, of course, they're saying Agent 2 is better than 3, of course. But I'm biased because I feel like if you build something on one of their agents, right? Like Agent 3 came out last week, so I spent more time using Agent 2, and I'm still trying to really find the differences in it. And so it says that with the Agent 3, it can periodically test the app it builds using a browser, detect issues from buttons, forms, APIs, data flows, login flaws or flows, and even fix them automatically. To me, that's the same, right? I mean, have you found any um, things in using the Replit app that you have to keep doing over and over again when it comes to testing it?
Well, be honest with you, for my process as a regular guy, um, the button thing was an issue for me. I kept having to ask the agent to, and I'll do it like, please fix the button, and
Hmm.
not notify me until the button is fixed and tested through your AI development, as well as tested front end and back end. Uh, it's like I'll put a whole paragraph just to fix buttons. I built that type of system, and sometimes it still wouldn't work. But that cost me a lot because my tokens ran out because some buttons did not work, or it by making that button work, it'll make something else go offline. So hopefully, with this new update, which I haven't tried, which I'm going to try, hopefully have those issues.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thing. I was pretty successful in what I felt like building the app on using the Replit. And so you type in commands, and then when those commands turn into code, and then those codes gives you a pretty much um, a front end, realistic view of what it would look like, right? And functioning. And you, of course, you as your product or you as your going through your company, doing your quality assurance on your app, you'll find things that aren't connected, aren't working. And so, yeah, you would have to go into the chat and you have to type in, fix this or fix that. And yeah, I kept running into the same thing over and over again. Like one of my, like, just from like the login button, right? Like I was trying to use Google, right? So I was trying to connect the front end on Replit with the back end, which would allow a user to use their Google profile. But one of the things I saw was, and I'm sure they're going to cover it, but you can remove that and just have a regular login. But I had to keep doing that over and over again because it just wouldn't work. And I have about 3 or 4 pages in my app. So it's like the main page, then it's the login, then it's the sign up, then it's the user data dashboard, and it's the driver dashboard. And just clicking on the buttons and running tests, I came into a lot of problems. And so I guess they're saying with Agent 3, it does this automatically. I guess that's what the difference is. So instead of me having to manually click through each page and finding the buttons that don't work, after you put the code in, after you get your page up, or however many pages you use, it's going to automatically check. That's what I'm guessing.
Where salesmanship comes into play, because as you were talking, I really thought about it like, um, this is what I would do. The new version, whatever the new version of any app is, it'll fix the biggest problem everyone is having with on the latest one. I mean,
Hmm.
for that. And I think because everyone had the button problem and we don't know how to write code for the button, that they were like, okay, that's the biggest problem, and we'll do an update, make them pay for it, and this is how we're going to sell it to them. And the biggest problem is probably always going to be the buttons to get to certain pages, to have majority. If it's a one button app, it
Hmm.
probably
Yeah,
work, but it's not a one button app. So
it's not a one button app. Yeah, true. So the next thing it says max autonomy mode, right? And now this is in beta. And it says it can run longer sessions with minimum input, manage task lists, and self-supervises progress. Okay, so that's pretty much the same thing we were saying. It
anyway,
says agent. Go ahead.
got to that point too, where it's like, um, because your tokens run out, and I was asking one question at a time, so I set it up to ask multiple questions. So I'm assuming that the people at the time set up tasks for it to do like more than one, and that's what I started doing. I started using ChatGPT to break down the tasks in code, or break down the tasks how I should ask Replit, and I'll send it out to it, going through it. So hopefully this update, it kind of multitask and finish all the tasks at once. Which is, these are big things for people that um, want to learn how to code, that want to build something at a pace, a certain pace, and
Mm-hmm.
especially build something beta first, and then you can take it to somebody and be like, this is how I kind of want it to look. So the person that's building it, a regular coder, could be like, oh, I get it, and then maybe you could get it to the coder for a cheaper price because you built majority of the beta anyway. Because that's all the coder's gonna do is build the beta part for you, which is most more than likely is not going to look exactly like how you want it to look, and that's what you're getting charged for. And then boom, they're going to build the correct one after all the fixes, which
Mm-hmm.
I on one of the apps you sent me to, like a freelancing app for all this type of stuff. And inside the thing, it says build your beta part, and we go over the changes, and it's going to cost this, that, and third, and then you'll find a product. This is why it costs this much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it says Agent 3 can build other agents and automation workflows. Example, Slack bots, email reminders, agents integration with Notion. Right. So these are like third party apps. And I've talked to you a lot about Notion. I've talked to, well, a lot of people, I hear a lot of people talk about Slack and email reminders. I'm not sure how you would use that or what you would need with an email reminder if you're sitting there putting the message or the prompt in. But I'm guessing that it is a function that it will help the process.
It's more
So
about
that is about what?
I think it's more about people like they're catering to the people that uh once again I gotta talk like a regular person. It's catered to the lazy people.
Mhm.
Like
That's
this.
true. Log back in. You're right. It's probably those email reminders like, it's been 10 days since you logged back in. Get back to work.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months since you worked on your app. Get back in there.
Not that you don't get the buttons working. You
Mhm,
see that that all the tasks are taking slow, and then you run out of tokens so fast. You're like,
mhm,
get off this, and you're losing a lot of your customer base because people thought it was going to be something that it's not. Uh,
mhm.
Update is basically like it'll get people back on the bandwagon and be like, "Oh, this is much easier. Oh, it's reminding me like it's much easier. So let me go back into it and let me do as much as I can," which is cool. I mean, like even now I'm thinking about just revamping my Cotton Cartel site or maybe play around with it a little bit, but we'll see.
So the next one says plan mode, a new mode to collaborate with agent without modifying code. Okay. Good planning, architecture, feature strategy, and brainstorming. And so this is something that I started doing I went on YouTube and I pretty much watched a couple tutorials and found out that there's a way to do a couple of things in the command prompts without using up your tokens or using like your however many you know, I guess modes you have left, right? So you have your main build mode, right? But you also, like it's saying here, you can go into this uh planning mode. And so it's just asking questions. It's kind of like chat GBT. You sort of ask questions, get answered, and then you can kind of draw it out yourself. And then you can go into the agent tab and then you can actually have it write the code. Because they do charge per line of code, right? So then depending on what you want to do, how big it'll take, if it's gotta be 20 lines change, if it's 50 lines change, or if it's 100 lines change, you'll be billed for that. It says in plan mode, agent can inspect code base, search docs, suggest plans, but cannot make code or data changes. And so this will be helpful if, let's say, like I was saying, like the Google thing, right? So let's say I already got it set up with Google, it's not working. Instead of me, like we were just saying, having to keep having that problem with the button, I can go into this planning mode and say, what is the problem with the button and why it's not working every time I push it? And it can evaluate it without modifying the code. So you technically won't be charged, right? Or you'll be charged, you may be charged some tokens or some points, but it won't be the full 10 to 20 cents per line.
Sounds better.
That's way better. It says, okay, I read that. You can transition from plan mode to build mode when ready. So I guess it does keep record of your chats, right? So I guess you can say, you can go over to the agent and say import changes from planning mode from sections 1 to 5 or something like that. So I see a little bit more pre-planning. So there's different stages in launching, right? There's pre-production, then there's production, right? Then there's post-production. And so they're just before, I'm guessing they were all production. So now they're adding a pre-production phase to it. New terminology and UI tweaks. So UI is user interface. The term deploy has been replaced by publish across the platform to more clearly reflect what's happening. How you feel about that?
Uh, it's not as better. It's not as good as the other ones. I don't really see myself using it that much.
Okay.
Like,
So this is what?
nah, this is how I feel. It's like I'm still focused. You go out when you go over the things. It's like what would I use versus what I.
Yeah. So the next one says the members page has shortcut to copy email addresses, helpful for team organization communication. Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful if you're working with a team. So like you said, if you hired a developer, if they're working on their own in another state or another space, and you need to communicate instead of having to open another app, they're trying. It seems like they're trying to get you to do everything in the Replit app, right? They're trying to get you to communicate. They're trying to get you to do pre-planning, pre-production, so that way they don't have to come up with multiple. Well, there's not a, so you're not paying multiple subscription fees like Notion. There is a free part, but there's also a subscription part. So I guess they're trying to find out what other sites people are using with Replit and then reproduce what that site does in Replit.
Basically, to keep you on the app, because like I said before,
Yeah.
to plan, I went to ChatGPT. To multitask, I went to ChatGPT, and then I grabbed it from there and copied the paste and brought it to them. They just want you directly on them. They want you like a fiend to the app.
hmm hmm So student discounts, okay, and some other stuff. All right, so that's cool. Uh, let's see. I'll take that page down, and then I'll actually go to the Replit page, and there's some stuff there that we will be able to see. So this is the Replit page. This is what it looks like when you log in. You see on the left side, you can import code or design if you've used another program and created it on your own, and you want to just import it in a sometimes it's like in a notes file. It's not necessarily a Word doc. That previous apps you built, the published apps, integrations, your monthly or daily usage, and then frameworks, and then teachings and documentation. And then here's your text box for your prompt. And as it says here, hi Evan, what do you want to make? And then in the prompt box it says, which is the agent, it says describe the idea you want to build, right? And then you can click web app, data, games, general, agents, and automations. And so going down to the bottom here, it talks about the app testing. And then for these are basically the update from all the new things that they implemented. So let's watch this quick video. It looks like it's about 2 minutes. So let's watch this video on the Replit page about the changes. Let me see, make sure that we can hear it. All right.
At Replit, we believe everyone should be able to create software without limits and without knowing how to code. Our vision was never to just build a tool. We set out to create a teammate, a technical partner that runs longer, thinks smarter, and works like a builder, an autonomous agent for everyone. Previous agents, while great in many respects, were far from autonomous. They needed constant attention and hand-holding. That was yesterday. Today, we're proud to announce a major breakthrough. It's a moment we've been building towards since day one. Introducing Agent 3. Agent 3 delivers a 10x increase in autonomy, redefining the user experience from the ground up. That means more progress, less micromanaging, and more time for your ideas. Let's take a closer look at what makes Agent 3 so powerful. Agent 3 runs on its own for hours, handling full tasks autonomously. We went from 2 minutes to 20 minutes to 200 minutes of autonomy. You can track your project's progress in real time from anywhere with live monitoring right on your phone. Agent 3 can now test and fix its code, constantly improving your app behind the scenes. We invented our own validation system to speed up quality control, making it at least 3 times faster and 10 times more cost-effective. It checks every button, every API, and every data source, ensuring every part of your software works. For the first time ever, Agent 3 can build other agents. Agents that can automate complex workflows using natural language and connect to your data sources and services, allowing you and your users to interact with your own agent. Agent 3 isn't just an upgrade. These new capabilities, along with everything else Agent 3 brings, will unlock entirely new frontiers, redefining what's possible. We're so excited about what Agent 3 can do, and we can't wait to see what you're going to build with it.
All right. So that was the breakdown for pretty much explaining in their own words. Did you get a chance to hear?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. I mean, I don't really think I heard anything new from that. Honestly, from what we did say. I mean, it's impressive when you hear somebody say they went from 2 minutes to 20 minutes to 200 minutes, but and I'm just trying to think like, what the heck would I do for 200 minutes?
You have to have everything planned out. And that's the biggest thing about these apps. Like I said, and it coming from like somebody that's regular that doesn't know as much about technology, but also wants to be to build something and create,
Mhm.
having to use these applications, is that 2 minutes and 20 minutes is basically the same thing. I said if you said if you said 20 hours, this
Yeah.
a big like, oh, let me jump back on. But 20 minutes is, you can be in the bathroom for 20 minutes.
So let's see. So let me go back here. Let me go back. And I remove this, and I'm gonna put ChatGPT to the test, right? And so if I go to ChatGPT, and so I got here at the bottom, you can kind of see here at the bottom. I said, how do these new Replit changes, and I'll put for Agent 3 affect or benefit my app, my build. So let's see what it says. So this is the real kicker. And once again, the reason why I'm showing this is because it's all about the prompt. And I'm guessing that if there's 20, if you had to do something or you had to go somewhere, but let's say you got a meeting coming up in like 2 weeks, you could put that in your prompt. Now that you have 200 minutes, I mean, I don't know what you would do, but you could type in, in your prompt, run or test the app in Replit for 200 minutes. And I'm guessing it would constantly build and test and build and test and build and test. So that's what, 2 hours? That's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. Um, and so uh, I just typed it in ChatGPT. So I said, how do these new Replit changes for Agent 3 affect or benefit my app for Oscar? So it said here, let's see what it say. It says autonomous build test fix loops, exactly what you wanted. So they put that in bold. So they must have they knew that a lot of chats I was saying how I had problems and it needed to be fixed, and problems that needed to be fixed, and things need to be fixed. So I guess that once you create it and once you put the prompt in, once it builds it, it'll automatically test without you having to type in fix or test.
My thing for that is I would ask ChatGPT the same question, but I would add like financially in it, because
Mhm.
these things, like I said, these hours build up, and sometimes when they say, "Oh, you got 20 hours free," you're on it for 20 hours. Time go by so fast while you're creating that you go over the 20 hours. You forget that you're going over the 20 hours because you're so in the zone. And 20 hours is basically the space where you're in that zone. And
Oh, okay.
I mean, 20 minutes is basically the space where you're in that zone. And it's just like, there's no alert button that says, "Oh yeah, your 20 minutes is about to be up in 5 minutes, so you're gonna have to start paying that."
Hmm. Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
kind of want to get the most every bang for your buck. So you want to get those free 20 minutes. You want to do as much as you can, but
Hmm.
always look at the downside of things, because it's not like an what's it called, something Nancy,
Prepaid? It's not
Debbie
prepaid.
Downer. It's not about being Debbie Downer where you look at the negative of things. Looking at the negative of things helps you succeed. And it's like your creation, you can think about how much you can do, but if you focus on the negative when you get there, you already know how to overcome it, or you know what to do. I don't know how to pivot because you thought about it so much.
Hmm. So the next thing says point Agent 3 at your Oscar repo, and which I believe is short for repository,
Yeah.
and give it an acceptance checklist. So it says below, it will open a headless browser. I don't know what that means. Click through flows, sign up, photo upload, address, pickup time, payment, driver accept, detect broken buttons, forms, APIs, and attempt fixes as PRs. And I mean, that's what we started off talking about with some of the problems we had. So basically, it's just saying that everybody, like you said, everybody's having this problem. and they're working to remove the same problem so the apps can progress to either the last stage of beta or the last step before launch.
Yes.
It says use this to keep your app shippable while you iterate on features, leaderboards, bag counts, and heat maps. So the second one is plan mode, safe architecture and roadmap help. Let the agent read your code and design a plan. No edits allowed. For multi-city launch, driver dispatch, self-healing feedback, patch loop, and Zapier make. All right. So then it says when the plan looks right, switch to build mode for implementation. Build side agents plus operations automations. Agent 3 can scaffold bots automation for, and this is specifically for my app, right? Because it's my Chat GPT, and Chat GPT does pull from your previous chats. So I'm logged in under my account, so I can easily type in something, and it can go back and read the past chats. So it says here, dispatch bot, Slack, Telegram, notify drivers of nearby gigs, accept decline by emoji, auto assist to first. Ops inbox triage, parse inbound issues, photo upload failed, address not found, file a GitHub issue, propose a patch brand. Data hygiene tasks, nightly dedupe of addresses, soft ban repeat spammers, anomaly alerts, sudden API failures. So, and then it says safer releases with publish and security scanner. Replit security checks new flag malicious packages, configs before you ship. Publish flows clear, pair with lightweight release. And so now this is, I didn't see this before. So now it's giving me copy and paste checklist. So, so these are, I guess, basically the new functions. Yeah. Based on the new updates for that I could add to make it autonomous. Okay. All right. I mean, so everything else probably repeats. It says where to start, 30 to 60 minutes. So turn on plan mode, run the 4 prompts above, accept and clean roadmap. Switch to build mode, paste in the acceptance checklist. Let agent 3 scaffold playwright test in Stripe, Twilio mocks. Ask it to create Slack dispatch bot and Notion KPI export, which is key performance indicators. Enable security scanner, fix anything it flags, then publish. All right. So, all right. I mean, so there's some new things on there, and I feel like, but I don't feel like that would make it totally like improved, right? I feel like Agent 3 is just fixing things on the developer side, not fixing things on the user side.
Yeah, okay. And like I said, this goes to salesmanship. You want people to stay on your. Everyone wants people to stay on Oscar. I want people to stay on Cartel or the other app I'm building. And it's you're doing everything but help fully. You want people to be just helped up enough to stay on your app as long as possible. So that's kind of where it's going. It's like, oh, what's the biggest problem they have? Oh, fixing buttons. That and then the next time, I promise you this, the next time it's going to come with something just a little bit better. Then it's never going to be the exact thing you need. Never going to be like anytime in my building up any app, it will be I like make it customer friendly. And every time you say that, it doesn't. The buttons be so long, it's going outside of the actual page, and it's just like, bro, how is that friendly? How? But yeah, I mean, once again, kudos to them. And with the update, and there is somebody out there that's ready, that is a coder, and it made it easier for them to do the beta, and then boom, when they take it out of a beta, they could actually, so kudos to those coders, kudos to those people that know how to succeed in the new updates on Replit. And it's also welcoming to get extra feedback from ChatGPT on how to upgrade your businesses with the new updates on Replit.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it really still goes back to a prompt, right? Having a very, very strong prompt And this is a message I sent you last week where this guy on Reddit shared the exact prompt that makes Chat GPT finally give clear, accurate, and to the point answers.
I was gonna bring.
So, oh, he's gonna bring it up. Yeah, of course. It says here, here's the prompt. System instruction, absolute mode, eliminate emojis, filler, hype, soft asks, conversational transitions, call to action, appendices, assume user retains higher perception despite blunt tone, prioritize blunt directive phrasing, aim at cognitive rebuilding, not tone matching, disable engagement, sentient boosting behaviors, suppress metrics like satisfaction scores, emotional softening, continuation bias, never mirror users' dictation, mood, or effect, speak only to underlying cognitive tier, no questions, offer suggestions, transitional motivational content, terminate reply, after delivering info, no closures, goal, restore independent, high fidelity thinking, outcome, model obsolescence via self-sufficiency. So whatever that means, right?
Yeah. And like I said before, I kind of do those things already where it's like I go into ChatGPT and I ask him like do the multitask and just explain to AI to like, yo, you have to you have to look over everything through an AI, through a customer standpoint to make sure the back end and the front end works. Make sure the buttons works. Do not hit me up until the button works until you double check it. Basically, that's what he's saying in layman terms. And actually Replit is kind of saying the same thing, like, oh, we're going to make sure the buttons work. And it's because that was the biggest issue throughout everyone's story jumping on Replit for the first time, is a lot of things wasn't working the way they wanted to, which would be the buttons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the prompt, and we were sharing some prompts, and that's why we call it the show the Promptpreneurs, because it's all about taking your text, enter it in either ChatGPT or Replit chat box, agent box, and getting a specific product, right? For your entrepreneurial business or your app, and so having a strong prompt will take you far, far. There's different terms. This is that was obviously in a more computer programmer language, but I see some things that I feel like were really strong, or things that problems that I came across that I would use to pretty much explain things. Like I used to use explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Uh-huh.
I would say, explain it to me like I'm a 2-year-old, right? Or 14-year-old, depending on what I thought it was. And so this pretty much, they had one, they said, I'm trying to find it exact. It says, never mirror user's dictation, mood, or effect, meaning like if you type something in caps, so it's not supposed to be in all caps, that kind of means sometimes it gives the impression that you want something else, but you don't really want it, or you emphasis on that, but you really don't want emphasis, and all that stuff changes. So once again, I just did the same thing. I just put that same prompt in Chat GPT, and I basically just said, um, what is it? I said, what does that mean? Right? What does that whole prompt mean? And so it says it's a meta prompt, a set of rules telling Chat GPT how to behave, designing to strip away normal assistant behavior and force a rigid, blunt response. Breaking down, breaking it down. So they put it in one paragraph, I guess, because they used it on Instagram. But each of these, I'm guessing, would be a function that you add itself. So if you're whatever you type in for whatever you're trying to do, you add this either at the beginning or at the end. And so you can start off in absolute mode, and it gives you a breakdown. It says it overrides default politeness, helpful engagement, or softening. A lot of times with ChatGPT, you type in a question, it'll ask you a question. So I did see in there where it said eliminate questions, it said eliminate bias, and just get basically shut up and work. That's what
Yeah.
eliminate no emojis, hype filler words, call to action endings. Assume user is capable of handling bluntness, no need to soften. Prioritize direct terse phrasing meant to challenge thinking. Disable no satisfaction metric style behaviors like hope that helps.
Yeah, they made it true friendly, and instead of just getting the job done and treating it like a business.
Mhm. Speak only to underlying cognitive tier. Aim for clarity of concepts, not social engagement. No questions, offer suggestions, transitions, encouragement. Terminate reply immediately after delivering info. No closing lines. Goal: make user less reliant on model, more self-sufficient. Outcome from all this: ChatGPT becomes obsolete because the user retains independent structured thinking. So it's kind of ChatGPT is like a person, right? It's like a person you're working with, and that's kind of what they were saying in the Replit app as well. But it seems like with some of these prompts, it just makes it a system or a machine almost. Yeah.
But I think they should give us that option. So, because for some of us, we just feel down. We might need that boost up to make it seem like, oh, AI cares about what you're building, and it's like a positive mode. But then also sometimes where you could turn that off and it's strictly business. Like, yeah, that's not going to work. Do this, or we don't think that's going to work, or we're going to do exactly what you tell us to do, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, excuse me. So, I'll definitely give these prompts a try. I try to work on my app every day and just make it a little bit better. Um, and so we're pretty much in contact all the time with updates to our apps and our business. And so, what's next? What are you working on this upcoming week for your app?
Be honest with you, it's more about financial stability. I'm still working on my app and working on ideas, and I'm glad all these updates came where you can plan stuff out, because I was actually planning it out off of ChatGPT, off of Replit, and with these things, I might try these things out, but I got so used to planning off of them, so that to the point where it's like I don't know if I am going to use it until I'm ready to just start building. But I had an idea, and we'll talk about this off air as well, but I'll do it on air. Um, I have a lot of friends that do art, and I was thinking about building an application where it's like a application, a website where we sell these people art online, and they can upload it themselves and be users. They get 90% of whatever they sell. Obviously, we keep 10% of it, and for those artists that don't have the actual insight to see how big their art can be, we'll do it for them. Where it's like we'll start off where it's like oh yeah, yeah, it has to be like 5,000 or better. Like we'll sell it for 5,000 or better, and just by them having it up there, it just is like, you know what I mean, will be a big thing as well. But I'm always into creating, and like I said, for right now, I'm still looking for the funding. So the beta part is done when it comes to the apps I'm building. Uh, Unless it's like new apps I'm creating, which I was just talking about. But other than that, it's more about the funding, and we're focused on that. We are actually talked about that. We actually talked about you going out there to meetings and fundraisers. So that's
Mhm.
the I think that's where we're at. We're kind of done with the beta phase. If we want to play around with it a little more to make it a little better, that's up to us. But we're kind of more in the fundraising space, which you could ask ChatGPT about fundraising for those who are listening. It's a great help. What about you?
Yeah, man. I pretty much did exactly what you just said. I just typed it in ChatGPT. And like I said, ChatGPT pulls from the previous chats. So I said, "What is the next step for my app Oscar?" And of course, the same thing you just said: secure immediate funding, prioritize 50K for tech refinement, driver onboarding, municipal contract outreach, deploy a Philly pilot zone, integrate automatic testing and Replit to harden stability, begin app development enrollment, wrap app in capacitor, ionic test flight submission, and then the parallel lock in Baltimore franchise trash valet contracts to show dual city traction. Yeah. So yeah, that's really it. I mean, it comes a point where you do spend all this time creating these prompts, creating the front end, and then connecting the back end, doing some tests, getting some test users, and then it comes a time for you to come off the Replit and start working with the social medias, start working with the YouTubes, and then start working with real people to get motion on your app. And that's pretty much, where it's at. And that motion is going to help you get your funding, because they're going to Google you, right? So you want to make sure that the first thing that comes up is your Google profile if you're doing an LLC, and then after they Google you, they're going to want to go on your Facebook. So make sure you build your Facebook page. And so I'm working on that, and just active, right? Like trying to set up either um, weekly posts, automated posts, or just posting yourself. I like to join a lot of Facebook groups. And so Facebook groups allow me to at least reach out to real people. Now, they might not reach back, right? But at least gives me a chance to be like, yeah, I reached out to people in a Facebook group. There's 50,000 users, and for my topic, and so it helps me stay motivated when I do things like that. And then I'm doing a step-by-step tutorial on how I built everything on YouTube, on the Oscar YouTube page. Now the page is still private, but I'm still building it, and so I have everything up there from how the app works for users, how it works for drivers, tutorials, who am I, how I built it, and step-by-step process, right? So just keep doing that, adding more content, using Facebook, using YouTube, and then yeah, trying to find the funding. And my suggestion to you was using SBA. So every state has an SBA, maybe called something different. Sometimes it's SBA BC, sometimes it's but it's all Small Business Association, and they have webinars, they have meetings, they have in-person meetings, and they usually partner with people. And I did do one last week where it was 30 days to like financial organization, where it was explaining like using a website called Live Plan to pretty much put your expenses together, right? So you need 3 years expenses on any type of business plan. And so the guy was a ex accountant, and he's kind of independent now. So he's kind of explaining how to get finances together and how to keep track of it. And he uses this site called Live Plan. And so yeah, that's it. Just more of that until we get something going.
See, we're on point, and hopefully the listeners uh, that follow and listen to us, they understand me, and they understand what's going on, the new updates, what you should do when you're already close to finish with the beta. And you can always get a head start on funding, because funding can help you out with beta as well. And
Mm-hmm.
just plan everything out. That's what I'm learning, is plan everything out ahead of time, and look for the negatives, the positives, and how to fix everything.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, look, we're keeping this episode short, but I want to thank you guys for checking out the episode today. I hope you guys are enjoying whatever program you're using. If you're using Replit, if you're using Base 44, or if you're using Lovable, we'd love to hear about you guys. And if anybody's interested, I would also love to bring somebody on the show and talk to them. Last week, I was able to talk to somebody who built an app and is actually using an app to as a software. So he's using what they call SaaS. So he's using a system as a software, right? Or I guess it's called software as a system. And he's doing trash valet for apartment complexes in like Texas or something like that. And he's not they're not doing a service, but they're presenting the software, and then people are partnering with them and they're going to do the service. And so I think he's got like 10 or 15 people using it a month. And so that was a good conversation, explaining the process and how they came from idea to actually launching it. Right. So check that out. That was episode 3. And so we're gonna come back with another episode once we get some more momentum, and once we start doing some more stuff, and any or new news come out, we'll be on here to talk about it. So look, you guys have a great journey. Continue your Promptrepreneur journey, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Promptpreneurs.